fans, this is Jazz bringing you another Better for Worse vlog number 64, I believe. And I got two strips for you guys, and the first one is from July 14th, 1984. Stop fidgeting, Ellie. Michael's on his way and he'll be just fine. He's got books, toys, he'll get plenty of attention. There's nothing to worry about. Further investigation into the fatal crash of a 737 passenger jet has revealed that... Oh... That is always a parent's worst nightmare. You see, I actually know this storyline. I've read it through my old For Better for Worse collection books. Well, Michael's being sent away to Ellie's parents for a few weeks to, for one, to give her a break and to give him some independence, for he could get some more, individual attention, to get used to things. I think Ellie was starting, work at this point, and she was working for a little while at this point, and he just didn't care for it. He's so not used to this routine where his mother isn't home, and so they just decided to get him, away for a while. He'll get his own attention while they can get their affairs, everything in order, that they want to. And Ellie's just feeling guilty because at this point he is only maybe 9 years old. And he's really young to really go on his own. I mean, he is not completely on his own. He has that unaccompanied minor label. So for anyone who doesn't know, but most of you do, unaccompanied minor is anyone under the age of 18. Well, no, anyone under the age of maybe 16 or 17. But, there's a certain age, I don't really know, but it's that way there's flight attendants watching that child, in charge to make sure that child doesn't get in any trouble or isn't in any danger and is happy when, when their parents can't be there. I think there's certain things for those with special needs, too, which, but even then they have there's certain things they have to qualify for, Like me, I don't know if I would qualify for a special needs escort. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't, but with the way I'm able to articulate and rationalize compared to some with special needs, maybe not. I don't know. But I don't think I would ever go anywhere by myself. Anyway, I would go with someone if I were to go somewhere. So he is safe on that account, but Ellie is so out of sorts because he's by himself that whole fatal passenger crash is the worst possible thing to come when they turn that on and thinking that way. Even John is like, oh my god. And John was the one trying to rationalize with Ellie. And nothing to worry about, click, a fatal, Okay, I know it sounds funny reading it like that. But really, guys, that can be a real nightmare for people. There is always that possibility. And when you leave your kid alone on a plane, when you don't know what plane they're on and, what plane number is crashed, that's a nightmare. But we all know, it's more funny because we all know Michael is just fine. It wasn't his plane that had that fatal crash. But it's something to wonder, without knowing it wasn't his, what type of things would go through the parent's head? My gosh, my son is on an aircraft. Could have been his. It didn't say the number, of what the plane was in that scene. Is Michael okay? I don't blame him for the reaction completely. Especially Ellie. My god, she was already so guilty, right? About letting Michael go off on his own. She wasn't ready for it. As in the previous strip, she's like, there goes my baby. As the flight attendant said, he must feel you're quite the grown-up young man. Gotta say, though, props to that flight attendant in that strip. What was her name? Claire? I forget. But she was great with Michael, right? Took her under her wing like her own. Played cards, played video games with him. Everything. Man, I hope if the flight attendants are that good with their passengers. And the final strip is from November 10th, 1994. So, are we going to get one of Sarah's pups, Mom? Don't ask me that, Elizabeth. But they're so cute. I don't want to think about owning another dog, okay? One is enough. Besides, I'm the one who ends up with all the responsibility. But it'll be different this time. We'd look after it. We promise. We'd do everything. You wouldn't have to. I said I don't want to think about it. But I am. Now, guys, we obviously know she did. Because not long after, a month after, it reveals that she got one of the pups, which is Edgar. I really wanted to talk about this strip particularly because, well, no, I didn't know about it, but when I read it, because I was talking to my aunt by how ironic everyone who's spoilers. If you don't want spoilers and you're reading this strip, go. If you're reading the new revised version and don't want to find out what happens in a few years, 3 or 4 years, go. But to those who don't know, about a year or so later, April gets into a serious accident in the ravine. And if it wasn't for either one of those dogs, Farley or Edgar, she'd been gone. Because, you see, she wanted to sail her boat like her parents, so she took it down to a ravine that the parents and also just talked about how dangerous it would be and would not want one of their kids around there at this time, which ironically April's going. She falls into the river. Farley jumps in after her and holds her neck up. Edgar runs to the house and barks and scratches to get someone's attention. When he wouldn't go in when John let him in, he knew to follow him. And there they found April in danger. Unfortunately, we lose Farley because of this. But if Edgar had not come into the Pattersons' life, Edgar and April both would have drowned. There is no doubt about it. So this decision that she's thinking about was the catalyst of her daughter being with them today. Because, I mean, maybe April wouldn't have gone with just Farley. I don't know, but she probably would have. So, the way I see it is that without one of those dogs, like, or even if Harley was no longer around, it'd be up to Edgar to hold. It'd be up to Edgar to hold April up. Now, he may have done a better job, but Farley did a fantastic job. He kept her there till John could get to them. But Edgar may have had more energy to hold her up, but still, he wouldn't have been able to do it forever. And if no one was able to contact the Pattersons, it would have ended tragically. So, the way I see it is that second dog was necessary. Edgar was necessary to save April's life. And that's the thing. Even, like, she's thinking about it. Like, she literally, it's her grandpup. Not just a random dog. Random dog had puppies and they wanted a puppy. It's her grandpup. So she was thinking about it. And even Michael eventually questioned, why you said you didn't want another dog, Mom? Why did you get another dog? She's like, it's for April. Right? Like, she wanted to get, like, something for April. And in a sense of the word, not only, like, as ironic how she said one dog is enough. Where, honestly, they lost Farley not long, maybe half a year or to a year after. So, they technically did still end up only with one dog. It's just that they had two for a little while. I personally think that this is great that they end up getting that second dog, because as I said to my aunt, because I'm a big fan of the book, and the way I rationalize it is that it was both dogs that saved April. They both had their part in it. You would think, okay, Edgar went to the door, scratched the door. He didn't jump in after April. But that was smart, because Farley had already done that. Edgar had always been a smart dog. Not Farley had, but no, Edgar had always been a smart dog. Farley was too, in a way. He just was wasn't treated as such. And I think in some ways, how do I put it? Farley had proven to be smart when he outsmarted Elizabeth when he went right back to the house when he ran off and got her in trouble. He wouldn't do tricks unless he didn't seem smart because he wouldn't do tricks on command. but he would do them when he wanted to. Edgar, in some ways, was different than Farley because he showed that he was able to maneuver and do things. So Edgar was smart to know not to jump in the water with Farley after April. He was smart to know to get someone's attention. Right? Farley, well, that was his first instinct because he knew April meant the world to his family. He would have probably done it for Elizabeth or Michael, too. And so I'm glad that Lynn killed off Farley, let Farley die in a dignified way. That's what Lynn's sister-in-law wanted. Said, you're not killing that with everything that those kids put that dog through. You better not just let him die, be put down, or, And at one point, Lynn was like, well, what do you want me to do? Get him to jump into a burning building? Or whatever, something that just, she knows her characters, what they're capable of. And she found the most rational way that Farley could be helpful by jumping in and holding April up. I mean, it was so bad that his heart stopped, but he was able to just hold on long enough. He died shortly after they got him out. So he was able to hold on past getting April out. Right, just for a few seconds longer, but it was the perfect timing in a way. So I honestly think that pup that Ellie didn't want to think about, it was good she thought about, because she would not, if she hadn't have gotten Edgar, not only would she not have had a dog, but she would have had another daughter. So I know some of this is a little morbid, I know, but it's just kind of in a way true, because it was both dogs that saved April's life, and Edgar was a wonderful dog in himself, a wonderful character addition to the family. So anyway, guys, I know this was a tad long, and I'm sorry, but if you still enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I will see you guys in my next video.